It started with a plane ride. In 1979, on a return flight from a speaking engagement, Robert Lyons had a vision: how to professionalize roof consulting and surveying through a recognized corporate body. The new group would develop widely respected credentials, establishing a standard of qualifications and practice in an emerging discipline. 4 years later, this vision became RCI, the Roof Consultants Institute. RCI was born on May 20th, 1983, with a charter of incorporation from the state of North Carolina. Roofing consultants now had an organization that would advocate for their profession and interests, and RCI's mission and purpose were quickly embraced. In less than 6 months, RCI grew from 5 charter members to 25 charter members and 1 associate member. By 1985, RCI was up to 106 members. Powering the organization's early success were its annual meetings, focused on improving knowledge in the profession, starting with the first RCI National Conference in February of 1984 in Atlanta, Georgia. Between meetings, RCI members supplied articles for the Institute's newsletter, Interface, which would triple in size while increasing its frequency from quarterly to bi-monthly. The organization would see continual growth in membership, even during a time period of historic economic disruption for building owners. By March of 1987, RCI had expanded to 184 members, a nice increase from its founding just a few years earlier. By 1989, membership would top 400, fueled by the new Certified Roof Consultant Program, the hiring of a professional staff, and the RCI conferences. The Certified Roof Consultant Program, later renamed Registered Roof Consultant, was approved by membership in 1986. 2 years later, Don Bush Sr. became RCI's first Registered Roof Consultant. Dick Cannon was the second RRC. The Registered Roof Observer Program was established later in 1992, and by 1995, Interface had become a monthly publication. Also in the early 1990s, Canadians began joining the organization, and the first Canadian chapter was approved by the RCI board in 1993. To date, IBEC has had 4 Canadian presidents: Bob Elston, Albert de Win, Jean-Guy Levac, and Ted Sheridan, and Canadians now comprise 16% of total IBEC membership. The organizational growth was nurtured by a dedicated and growing staff. By RCI's 10th anniversary, the staff had expanded to 6, including Chris Ammerman as the Director of Publications and Executive Editor of Interface, and Mickey Kamzik as the Operations Manager. Ammerman would shepherd Interface as it evolved into the industry-leading publication it remains today, while Kamzik's skills with RCI's credential exams brought praise from the highest places at the organization. Recalling his time at RCI, past President Nelson Hall told Interface, "I would especially like to thank Mickey Kamzik for her assistance on the exam committees. If there is an award for herding cats, make sure she gets it."
It's pretty important to know what you don't know. It's a big task taking care of all 6 sides of a building. I'd give them advice to join the Institute. A lot of good people that have special knowledge, and there's no better place to meet them.
While RCI had its roots in roof consulting, by the turn of the century, expansion was on the horizon. In March of 2006, the RCI Board of Directors adopted a proposal to add waterproofing and exterior walls to RCI's mission. Along with this larger scope came a new name, and the Roof Consultants Institute became RCI Inc. President Gary Cattell wrote, "We are now RCI, the Institute of Roofing, Waterproofing, and Building Envelope Professionals." The name change reflects a new direction for RCI. While respecting our roots, we need to embrace those disciplines that our members indicate they are getting involved with more frequently. The changes didn't stop there. RCI expanded its footprint across North America, adding new regions and chapters, and adding new credentials in waterproofing and exterior walls. The RCI Foundation, and RCI Foundation Canada were established, supporting research and education and providing scholarships to students to attend the organization's conventions. By far, the biggest change for the organization came in 2019 with the adoption of another new name when RCI Inc. rebranded as IBEC, the International Institute of Building Enclosure Consultants, with a broader mission to be universally recognized as the leading authority in building enclosure consulting. The Institute has since expanded to more than 3,500 members across the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. IBEC is building on its 40-year history, confident in its mission, and powered by a growing number of industry partners and credentialed consultants. IBEC is creating critical infrastructure to reinforce the entire building enclosure industry, expanding training and credentialing, supporting the next generation of consultants, and advocating for improved standards and practices that better serve the interests of owners, occupants, and the public. IBEC is influencing changes to building codes and standards through expanded advocacy efforts at the federal, state, and provincial levels. These efforts include a focus on how codes and standards are adopted and properly implemented during construction via commissioning. To support these efforts, IBEC in 2022 launched the Certified Building Enclosure Commissioning Provider Program. The CBEC-XP designation confirms that a consultant has the appropriate combination of expertise and training to perform building enclosure commissioning. To help the building enclosure community meet the growing demand for expertise, IBEC is committed to recruiting and preparing students and emerging professionals to become the consultants of the future. By providing them with the appropriate education, credentialing, and relationships to handle the enclosure challenges of today and tomorrow, IBEC is leading the way in ensuring that the buildings of today and of the future can withstand whatever comes next.